Joe Rogan isn't exactly the poster child for subtlety, and that's part of his appeal. Put a microphone in front of him, and you're guaranteed a mix of brutal honesty, unfiltered opinions, and a dash of controversy. Rogan's podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, has become a hub for deep conversations, spicy debates, and the occasional viral moment. It's a space where boundaries don't exist and nothing is off limits. That freedom, however, comes with its share of critics, especially when Rogan's candid style veers into the politically charged or culturally sensitive.
After he was sworn in, Trump gave his second inaugural address, which I have to say was more ominous than I anticipated.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire.
So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
But before we continue with this whole drama, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the latest news surrounding Hollywood. Enter Jimmy Kimmel, the polished, camera-ready host of Jimmy Kimmel Live on ABC. Kimmel has built his career on the foundation of traditional late-night comedy, scripted monologues, celebrity interviews, and a heavy helping of topical humor. But when Donald Trump took office, Kimmel's comedic tone shifted into high gear. His monologues grew sharper, his jabs at the political establishment became more frequent, and he didn't hold back in expressing his views. For many, he became a voice of reason in chaotic times. For others, he became a caricature of Hollywood's perceived liberal bias.
He's had a real problem with Elon from the beginning of this thing, but it's like he's in this leftist thought bubble. He is in the most leftist thought bubble available, which is Hollywood. You know, he famously, there's some videos of him in blackface, and those came out, and he had apologized for them, and I think he took that hit and like really doubled down the other direction.
These two comedic juggernauts couldn't be more different. Rogan thrives on raw, unscripted conversations. Kimmel shines within the polished, prepackaged format of network television. Their approaches to comedy reflect not just their personalities, but also the audiences they cater to. It was only a matter of time before their worlds collided, and collide they did in spectacular fashion. The spark that ignited the drama came shortly after Trump's inauguration.
It was not an uplifting or even well-written speech. Trump said the golden age of America begins right now. Twice, he bragged about a landslide victory. That was in no way a landslide victory. Did he say America's decline is over? Yeah, America's decline is over. In fact, it's right over there. There it is. Later on, the dick line turns into a circle jerk, and that's when the fun starts to happen.
Rogan, as he often does, was casually riffing on current events during one of his podcast episodes. The topic turned to late-night television, specifically the wave of anti-Trump commentary that seemed to dominate every monologue. That's when Rogan set his sights on Kimmel. In typical Rogan fashion, he didn't just critique Kimmel's jokes, he took aim at what he saw as the intent behind them. According to Rogan, Kimmel wasn't delivering genuine comedy. He was pandering to his audience, bending over backward to win political brownie points. Rogan's words carried a weight that suggested frustration, not just humor, and listeners picked up on it immediately. The internet, predictably, exploded. Social media platforms lit up as fans and critics alike rushed to dissect Rogan's remarks. On one side were the diehard Rogan fans who applauded his willingness to call out what they saw as Kimmel's hollow, Hollywood-centric humor. They praised Rogan for cutting through the noise and offering what they believed was a more authentic perspective. On the other side were Kimmel's defenders, who argued that late-night comedy has always been a vehicle for political commentary and that Kimmel was simply doing his job.
Carrie Underwood, you see President Trump waiting for Carrie Underwood to perform, and her performance will soon begin. As President Trump looks on next to the new Second Lady, Usha Vance, who is also waiting for Carrie Underwood to begin her performance of America. All right, what? You know what? The hell with it. Let's get down to our new national anthem, YMCA. That is...
To them, Rogan's critique wasn't a brave stand. It was an unnecessary cheap shot. As the debate raged online, it became clear that this wasn't just about Rogan and Kimmel. It was a reflection of the broader cultural divide that has come to define so many conversations in recent years. The clash wasn't just about two comedians with different styles. It was about two philosophies of humor, two approaches to politics, and in many ways, two Americas. Rogan's audience, often described as independent-minded, free-thinking, and skeptical of mainstream narratives, found Kimmel's brand of humor predictable and pandering. Meanwhile, Kimmel's supporters, who often see late-night comedy as a platform for speaking truth to power, found Rogan's critique to be dismissive and overly cynical. The drama didn't stop at the fans. Media outlets picked up on the feud, with headlines framing it as a battle between the scrappy, no-rules podcaster and the polished, politically conscious late-night host.
Today also happens to be Martin Luther King Jr. Day of all days. And Donald Trump and Martin Luther King, they do have something in common. One had a dream, the other had Eric. But Trump promised his administration would work to make Dr. King's dream come true. He said that in his speech, and he's right. These people will make sure we are judged based on the content of character, not on the color of their lily white skin. It was wall-to-wall white people at this inauguration.
Some articles sided with Rogan, highlighting his point that comedy should be authentic and free from agenda. Others defended Kimmel, arguing that his satire served an important purpose in holding power to account. The media frenzy only added fuel to the fire, ensuring that the feud remained in the spotlight for weeks. Of course, this wasn't the first time either Rogan or Kimmel found themselves at the center of controversy. Rogan, for his part, has long been a lightning rod for criticism. His choice of guests, ranging from scientists and philosophers to conspiracy theorists and controversial political figures, has drawn praise for its diversity and condemnation for its lack of boundaries. Critics accuse him of giving a platform to harmful ideas, while supporters argue that his podcast is a space for open dialogue and free thought. Kimmel, too, has faced his share of backlash. His older sketches, particularly from his time on The Man Show, have been criticized as offensive and out of touch by today's standards. While he has publicly addressed some of these controversies, apologizing for certain jokes and skits, they remain a point of contention for his detractors.
And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
Elon needs a change of pants. Another rocket just exploded on launch. This Elon Musk, if this isn't a real-life comic book villain, I don't know who could ever possibly be that.
These past controversies became ammunition in the Rogan-Kimmel feud, with fans of each side dredging up old missteps to argue why their guy was in the right. Adding to the intrigue were the rumors swirling around the feud. Some speculated that the tension between Rogan and Kimmel went beyond politics and comedy. Was it a clash of egos, a personal disagreement, or just a case of two comedians with fundamentally different worldviews rubbing each other the wrong way? The gossip only added another layer to the drama, with fans dissecting every word and action for clues about the true nature of the beef. At its core, the feud raised a bigger question. What role should comedy play in politically charged times? Is it better to deliver pointed satire within the constraints of network television, as Kimmel does, or to go completely off the cuff in a free-form podcast, as Rogan prefers? The answer, of course, depends on whom you ask. For some, Kimmel's approach represents the best of what comedy can be: sharp, insightful, and willing to take a stand. For others, Rogan's style is a refreshing antidote to the carefully curated narratives of mainstream media. The Rogan-Kimmel drama also highlighted the changing landscape of comedy itself. The rise of podcasts and independent content creators has challenged traditional media in unprecedented ways. Rogan, with his massive audience and platform, embodies this shift. He doesn't answer to network executives or advertisers, giving him a level of creative freedom that traditional hosts like Kimmel can only dream of. But with that freedom comes responsibility. And critics argue that Rogan sometimes uses his platform irresponsibly, giving airtime to ideas and individuals that deserve scrutiny, not amplification.
Biden pardoned a bunch of people who didn't commit crimes. Trump pardoned a bunch who did. Biden's pardonees included Dr. Fauci, General Milley, Liz Cheney, members of his family, and Diddy, which was a surprise. I guess Uncle Joe loves a freak-off. I don't know, but...
On the flip side, Kimmel represents the old guard of comedy, polished, scripted, and constrained by network guidelines. While this format allows for a level of professionalism and polish, it also comes with limitations. Kimmel's jokes, no matter how sharp, must navigate the tightrope of network standards and advertiser expectations. For some viewers, this makes his comedy feel safe and sanitized. For others, it's a testament to his skill that he can deliver meaningful satire within these constraints. As the dust settled, one thing became clear. The Rogan-Kimmel feud was about more than just two comedians trading barbs. It was a microcosm of the cultural and political divisions that have come to define our time. It was a battle over authenticity, over the role of comedy, and over the ways we engage with politics and media. And while neither Rogan nor Kimmel emerged as a clear winner, the feud itself became a defining moment in the ongoing conversation about comedy, culture, and the power of the microphone. In the end, whether you side with Rogan, Kimmel, or neither, one thing is undeniable. Both men have carved out unique spaces in the world of comedy, and their impact is felt far beyond their respective platforms. Their feud, while entertaining, is a reminder of the complexities and challenges of navigating humor in a divided world. And if there's one thing we can be sure of, is that this probably won't be the last time these two titans of comedy find themselves in the ring.
We got out of
because
bed
in the
and
world
the
of
dog
politics
had
and
pooped in the
humor, the
hallway
stakes
right
are always
outside
high, and the drama
and peed
never
on the
really
wall.
ends.
And that was just an
If you guys like
appetizer
today's
for the rest
video,
of the day,
make sure you
really.
like and subscribe to the
President
channel.
McRib is
And I'll see
back
you guys
for a
in the
limited
next one.
time, only
Peace.
4 years.